You're watching FanDuel Sports Network, the home of the Timberwolves, Wild, and Lynx.
It is time to put the champs to the test. Coming up tonight on Wild Live, Florida may have won the Cup last year, but they never got past Minnesota. So can the Wild pick up where they left off last go-round against the Cats? Plus, when you make history, the league takes notice. Fresh off his Star of the Week honor, Filip Gustafsson looks to continue his dominant stretch between the pipes. And another goal Saturday night means another new spot in the record books for Kirill Kaprizov. We'll take a look at what his latest tally says about his game here in year 5. That's all coming your way as Wild Live starts right now. The road trip is off to a good start. The Wild, the 2-0-1 so far, now gear up for Game 4 of 7 straight away from home. And it comes with a battle against the defending champion Panthers tonight in Sunrise, Florida. And, of course, it all comes your way as Bally Sports is now FanDuel Sports Network, your new home for the Minnesota Wild. And we welcome you inside Trio Orthopedic Studio for Wild Live with Ben Clymer. I'm Audra Martin. When you are away from home for this long of a stretch, it's great to get momentum early. The Wild certainly did that, but now we're in the midway point and they have to keep their foot on the pedal.
Bally Sports is now FanDuel Sports Network, your new home for your home team. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for more info.
A 2-game Florida swing for the Wild begins tonight in Sunrise, Florida. A battle against the defending champs, and the NHL season start is presented by Polestar. Minnesota coming off back-to-back road wins in St. Louis and Columbus, looking to keep it rolling against this Panthers club that's 3-0-1 in their last 4. Inside the arena with Ryan Carter, I'm Anthony LaPanta. Wild have to be thrilled. Points in 5 in a row to start the season.
Yeah, no question about it, but tonight is a measuring stick game for them. They're going on up against the Stanley Cup champions, and sure, they've played Winnipeg, and that was the second of a back-to-back, though. Tough to gauge a team in those situations, but they've been able to beat Columbus, St. Louis, Seattle, but now they have the Stanley Cup champs at home with plenty of rest. We'll see how they do.
Should be a good measuring stick for Minnesota's top line that's been very good this year, centered by the young Marco Rossi, who's off to a terrific start, way ahead of his pace in each of his first 2 years in the league. 5 points in 5 games so far.
I think we could have banked an uptick in offensive production from him this year, getting a little bit more comfortable. He's got a point per game, and I think that's probably close to his ceiling right now. He gets 82 points over the course of a season. But it's intriguing to me, the improvement is that his scoring's 5-on-5 now. He doesn't have a power play point, and when you can get your secondary scoring at 5-on-5, that really helps the club out. And there's other areas of his game that have improved too. He's all of a sudden good in the faceoff circle, over 50%. In the D zone specifically, almost 75% in the faceoff circle. So coach has been more than able to put him out there in the top unit or top line and say, hey, go out and play with these guys, but also take big face-offs and big moments. So he's grown quite a bit.
Few players in the league bring a better combination of grit, the willingness to hit, and the ability to score like Matthew Tkachuk. 88 points a year ago. He's back in the lineup tonight for the Panthers.
The heartbeat of this club enters the lineup, and it changes when he's here. You go back a couple of years, he had 100-plus points each of the last 2 years. Last year, 88. The difference is Florida went from being a Stanley Cup contender to a Stanley Cup winner. They had to change his style of play, and he's the guy that did. He said, all right, I'll score less points, 20 less than the year prior, but I'm going to play a more hard-nosed game. I'm going to be in your face. I'm going to set the tone for everybody else on the ice sheet with me. He's done that. They've got their cup, and now they're trying to do it again.
The Wild ride into town to try to slow Tkachuk and the Panthers, riding the Gus Bus, who's been red hot in goal for the Wild. For more, let's go downstairs to Kevin Gorg.
Yeah, Anthony, what a week it was for Filip Gustafsson, the NHL's 3rd star of the week, and he earned it. Both wins for him, so 2-0 is great, but then he stopped 50 out of 52 shots he faced. And, oh, by the way, became the first goalie in Wild history to score a goal. It was a week ago in St. Louis. When I talked to him about his start, he said, I'm going to go back to the summer. I was motivated to be better this year, and I wanted to get off to a quick start. He said, my summer was good. There you see the goal. That was spectacular. But he said, training camp went really well. I was feeling good. And now that I'm out there, I'm seeing the puck. And part of that is the defenders in front of me are allowing me to see the puck, and they're cleaning up that blue paint. So I'm able to get to my spots, get out there and be aggressive with my angle play. And Gustafsson's a guy like the Wild that wants to measure up against the best. He's looking forward to this opportunity. His numbers are good. Even though his record is 1-2-1 against the Panthers, his save percentage is over 93. And don't forget, about a year ago on opening night back in St. Paul last season, stopped 40-plus shots in a shutout win. We'll see if the Gus bus can keep rolling tonight as the Minnesota Wild are in Sunrise to take on the Stanley Cup champions. Yep, the Florida Panthers and the Minnesota Wild. And Puck Drop is headed your way next.
It's been a hot start for the Wild, who have recorded a point in all 5 games this season. The top dogs fueled the charge in Columbus. Rossi, Kaprizov, and Zuccarello each found the back of the net as part of a dominating 3-1 victory. Tonight's test is much more difficult as they enter the house of the defending champs, who are riding a red-hot Sam Reinhart, who scored 4 times in the last 4 games. But the Wild roll into town on the Gus bus, who just earned the NHL's 3rd Star of the Week honors. The 2-game swing through the state of Florida starts now on FanDuel Sports Network. Sam Reinhart, the #1 star of the week last week. He's been off to a terrific start, coming off 57 goals a year ago, already has 5 this year. 3rd star of the week is Minnesota goaltender Philip Gustafsson, who's off to a brilliant 3-0-1 start. Here are the Northland Ford starting goaltenders.
Great goaltending matchup here. You've got the #3 star of the week. You got the defending Stanley Cup champion, and Sergei Bobrovsky, but Gustafsson, terrific story. .950 save percentage, 3-0-1 to start the year. He's arguably been the Wild's best player. On the other end, it's Bobrovsky, who, I mean, he's got the Stanley Cup, but he's on the precipice of another pretty impressive record. 399 wins, looking at 400. He'd be just the 14th to do it, and he's got about 20 games to be the fastest to get to 400 wins.
Bobrovsky, a Stanley Cup winner last year, a 2-time Vezina winner.